The main issues in this campaign are less taxes, more jobs, and truth in government. It's that simple.
We came in 18 months ago and said we're going to focus on jobs, crime, and housing. And in doing that, we were going to create partnerships, because if there's one thing that has happened in the last 2 years, it's that people have come out of the woodwork to help. So what have we done? We've lowered the crime rate, increased our housing stock by rehabbing houses around the city, and decreased our unemployment rate. We did what we said we were going to do. And we've brought fiscal responsibility back to the city of Racine. I looked at the numbers today. Yeah, we're 0.2% above Beloit right now. They were 0.6% above us last month. The unemployment rate has come down because we're working hard with businesses. I've turned over 30 businesses in this town, and we're working hand in hand, creating partnerships to build companies. But the reality is, we're not done, and we have a long way to go, because we're going to keep building partnerships. We're going to keep building these opportunities. But the fact is, with what's coming down in the state budget, you're probably going to see even more unemployment.
Well, the mayor is correct. We do agree that, in fact, Racine has now moved into the #1 position of highest unemployment in the state of Wisconsin. But it's more than just that. If we take a look at WorkNet, which is the state's definitive Department of Workforce Development statistics, I would have to disagree with the mayor's assessment that he has in fact lowered unemployment. In point of fact, when he took office in June of 2009, we had a labor force of 40,216. That had dropped by 2,249 workers. That's 5.6% drop in January of 2011. So the labor force decreased, the number of people available to work. Now let's look at the employment figure. In June of 2009, when the mayor came in, we had employment of 33,789. We now have 32,662. That means that our employment, the number of people employed in Racine, has dropped by 1,127 workers, or 3.3%. These are the actual numbers that you can look at on WorkNet today. So the fact is, unemployment has not gone down in the city. The unemployment rate has, and the only reason the rate has is simply because if you decrease the number of people in the labor force, you in fact decrease the rate. But there are still more people unemployed today than there were when the mayor took office.
Thank you.
We'll take a time out on this one.
Okay, got another time out there, too.
Statistics. I'm sorry, I'll take the Department of Labor statistics over any statistics that you've got, and I'm sorry, I just don't know of this website. But the fact is, ladies and gentlemen, every county and every city in the state of Wisconsin, the unemployment rate went up in that market study. And yeah, I've got the study.
Well, I'm surprised that the mayor doesn't find the State Department of Workforce Development statistics valid. Please look at www.worknet.gov and you will see the statistics, or you can take a look at them here. The fact is, we need to eliminate excessive regulations and conditions in order to encourage businesses to come here.
West Racine has spoken and wants a grocery store and restaurant at Washington and West Boulevard. If elected, will you do what the neighborhood wants? And it starts with you, Eric Marcus, Alderman Marcus. 2 minutes.
Thank you. Certainly having a market on the east side of town in West Racine would be wonderful. However, the city of Racine needs to get out of the business of real estate speculation. We can certainly go to developers and encourage them, show them the demographics, and try to encourage them to, in fact, put a grocery store in West Racine or at any other location. But it's up to the third-party developer to decide, from a private enterprise market standpoint, if in fact that's an appropriate place for them to be able to put the market. If we look at the city's track record in real estate speculation, it's not very good. We can start with Point Blue, we can move to the South Side Industrial Park, and we can move to West Racine. Almost all of those properties have been vacant for 6 years.
John, 2 minutes.
Well, the city never has been and should never be in the real estate, I'm sorry, how you put it, speculative real estate market. What we do in West Racine, as we do in every property the city owns that unfortunately I was handed down quite a few of them, is we protect the taxpayer. And I don't know of, tell me something I don't know, but I don't know of a development that's going in West Racine right now. If there is one, I'd like to see it. The taxpayers under the former administration knocked down West Racine and put about $5 million into that property, cleaning it up, buying them out, things like that. If I were to just give it to a developer, you would have a low-income housing development there today. Now, if West Racine wants that, that's what you would have.
I'm willing to declare that the goal for city property taxes should be no increase. Right now, our city budget is simply too fat. We need to make cuts now in 2011 spending. I voted to send the 2011 budget back to the mayor to come to us with a balanced budget with no tax increase. I would like to use some of this time, though, that the mayor addressed the issue of seniors and taxes. The fact is, one of the cornerstones of my campaign was truth in government. And I've spoken with so many Racine residents who have told me that promises were made and not kept. Seniors were one of those groups. They have told me that they were given a promise of an affordable senior center, and now they've been priced out. Developers have been made commitments, and then they were reneged upon, and won't come back to Racine to do business. There was strong city opposition to having just one elected official appointed to a board that oversees $10 million in loan funds. In fact, handouts were prepared and given to the aldermen in opposition. Fortunately, we won that battle. It was a motion that I made, but it took more than 5 months to achieve it. The citizens of this city deserve to be able to trust their elected officials.
It just bothers me when I hear this stuff because it's just not the facts. We are working, we're looking at a model that we looked at in Mount Pleasant. We wanted to keep it in the city of Racine, but the reality was this opportunity has really been afforded to us. The seniors came back at the senior center, which I don't remember how you voted on it, Eric, but the seniors came back and said we wanted a discount in the site that they have there, and the council voted against it. So the fact is we are working with the seniors, and we are working with developers, and we are continuing to do things, and I'm not going to go through each one of these.
The fact is that we aren't effectively working with developers. I have had many developers come to me and tell me that they went into the mayor's office and walked out 30 minutes later saying, I will never do business in the city of Racine. We are not a business-friendly community. The number of conditions that we place on companies doing business here makes it very difficult, and in fact, has businesses starting up in Sturtevant and in Mount Pleasant. I understand the mayor's point about working with a committee of people to develop a seniors program, but you know what? How long does that take to do? It's been 18 months. Those promises were made 18 months ago, and we still don't have a solution. We have to act, not form committees, and that's what I promised to do as mayor. The true problems of Racine will never be solved on the backsides of its hardworking middle-class families. As your next mayor, I will implement fundamental change, and I've published my plan on how to help the middle class grow in Racine, Wisconsin. Remember that the current administration raised taxes and fees, oversaw a drop of 2,249 workers and 1,127 jobs, and has not been open and honest with its citizens. We need less taxes, more jobs, and truth in government. I have the experience and passion for this city to bring that to Racine.